Question 2. Notation. Good point. So, hyphen notation, there we go. Okay. Is another notation form for isotopes. Okay. That's key because the other notation form, I believe I discussed in one of my other videos, was a subscript, superscript, subscript, where it's like, for example, if we had carbon 13, okay, this would be its superscript, subscript notation, okay. In order to get this over to a hyphen notation, actually, all you do is focus on the superscript, and that is indicated by its mass, the atomic mass of that carbon of that isotope. Okay, that's what that number up there is. So for hyphen notation, you would really just have carbon dash, which is a hyphen, 13. This is effectively the hyphen notation for any compound you come across. So let's say if I made up a compound, actually, in fact, we're going to work with that. We're going to use A and B and then X. So we have an element X, okay? It has A amount of protons, also known as it's the A element on the periodic table, and it has B for its total atomic mass, okay? The hyphen notation for this would just be X, I guess, full name, hyphen B. In fact, what is a variable? There we go. We're going to call it variable X. Think of that as the full name for X. Variable X dash B. This will be a structure here for its hyphen notation, okay? And we can actually compare here. The reason why it's just important to know even like A, for example, is because as you see here, when we did our isotope for carbon, as soon as our periodic table loads, while that's loading, there we go. It is a 6th element, okay? Perfect, so that's why we have 6 there. It means that it has 6 protons, and the superscript up there, that number above, indicates the mass, which is calculated, in this case for the isotope, is going to be protons plus neutrons. So knowing that is this carbon 13, we'll actually have 7 neutrons. This is just extra information to really get familiar with what these isotopes mean, because isotopes are pretty much typically going to be it's the same element, but it's different amount of neutrons in them, if that makes sense. And exactly, this one will be B minus A neutrons, just like how we did up there. So overall, we have B being the atomic mass of that isotope, which is just protons plus neutrons, and that is how you would do the hyphen notation. For example, they actually use carbon 14 in this one, okay, and that is another valid isotope for carbon. In this case, this carbon here would have 8 neutrons, okay, and it's key here, the mass number is the number of protons plus the number of neutrons of that isotope. So this is correct. Alright, now let's go on to question 3 for tonight.